All right, just got out of the first ever presentation of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm very overwhelmed, I don't know what to say. There's so much information to digest and understand, and I'm just kind of overwhelmed with excitement. And yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's looking good. But next up, I get to get my hands on and play Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for the first time, and so I can't wait for that. So I'm gonna go in there right now and see if we can get our hands on and play Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for the first time walk in here. Now I can't show you guys the screens, but I can at least get this far. So let's see the gameplay.
All right, here we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. When you first launch the game, you start by creating and customizing your avatar's identity, and there are a lot of options here. You can start with a preset, pre-made avatar, or you could dive in and really make it your own. As you can see, they've added a ton of characters from different regions and nationalities, and there's a lot of different faces and skin tones that you can choose from. And you can change your hairstyle. There's a lot of options here for that and for headwear. You can also change your apparel, like your glasses, shirts, pants, shoes. Do you want to dress more casual or suit up like a captain? It's up to you. And look, you can even change your voice. There's a bunch of presets here, or you can record and use your own voice.
Pickup zone in sight, guys.
The sky is calling.
Rotate at VR positive rate.
Entering spray zone, guys. Adjusting altitude for optimal coverage.
Man, I could spend so much time in here, but I only have a limited time, so let's keep it moving. Once you finish your avatar, we move on to the new main menu with a whole new look. We'll go through each of these game modes, but first on top we have World Photographer, and on the left we have Activities, the Challenge League, our Career mode is on the right, and then there's the normal Free Flight, and on the bottom we have the Marketplace. First, let's take a look at World Photographer. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You basically need to go around the world taking photos in-game of specific points of interest. They have requests of having certain time of day or certain weather or certain objects in the shot at the same time to actually pass the objective. It's a fairly interesting game mode. Not sure how much I'm going to use it myself, but it might be more fun than we think. It's definitely a good way of kind of showcasing some of those really beautiful locations in the world that might usually get overlooked. It's also a great way to get shots of the wildlife that are roaming around the world. And our next game mode is Activities. Activities are basically where all of our familiar landing challenges and air racing and low altitude challenges are all kind of located and bundled together, as well as the flight training missions. They've added a bunch more than what we had in 2020, but many of the missions and challenges that we had back in 2020 have been moved over to 2024 as well. That does include the bush trips and the discovery flights. So if you enjoyed the activities back in 2020, there's definitely going to be plenty more to do here for you. And next we have the Challenge League. This is a completely new game mode for 2024. And this is actually a weekly challenge. It's just like the normal landing challenges, except they've highlighted a few different types of events for the entire community to kind of challenge each other on a weekly basis. Although I'm not really sure what the actual prize is, except for bragging rights. And of course we have Career Mode, which is exactly that. It's the career mode. That's where you can do your aerial firefighting, industrial cargo missions. All of that fun stuff is going to be in the career mode. Managing, owning, and creating a company, all of that's going to be in the career mode. But I've already done a full in-depth video on exactly what that looks like, how it works. So stay tuned for that one. And of course, down here, we also have the Free Flight. That's the exact same game mode that we had back in 2020. It just allows you to go out there and fly wherever you want, in whatever you want, whenever you want. And then down here on the bottom, we have the Marketplace. And there's actually some really interesting features they've added to the Marketplace. So as you can see here, there's going to be a brand new Marketplace with a whole new layout, much easier to navigate, new categories and filters, a whole new rating system. And this is a big one. Instead of having to buy an aircraft full price, you can actually either do a free trial of an aircraft, or you can actually now rent an aircraft. I actually really love these options. And with the new Marketplace, you can access both your Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 content and 2020 content. And that's it for the new main menu. All right, let's go see what's new in Free Flight. You can see we still have a very similar view, a bit of slightly different UI. We can still move around the globe and look at all different airports around the world. So very similar to what we had before. choose our aircraft. You can see we have an aircraft list here. Any aircraft you see on this list that are grayed out, that is because I don't currently have those aircraft installed, so I can't have access to them in this current build that I'm using right now. But one of the updates for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is that you're supposed to be able to actually stream your aircraft to you now. You don't have to have all of your aircraft actually downloaded on your system to hopefully save for space. We'll see how that works exactly, but at the moment they're advertising that you're going to be able to stream the planes just like we've been streaming the scenery. So we'll see how good or bad that works out. There's a lot of aircraft available to us in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I also have another video detailing every single aircraft coming with the standard, deluxe, and premium deluxe edition, so definitely check out that video. But here's a bit of a sneak peek here of all the aircraft that we can get. So, of course, I'm going to choose the 737 MAX because why not? I'm going to choose my hometown of KIAH, set that as departure, and then we'll fly up to Phoenix. This is a real-world flight that I did to get out here to the Grand Canyon. Set that as arrival, and then we'll try out the new navigation tools we have here. You can see here it has kind of a different tag there. You can see the actual weather and how far the flight is, how much fuel we're going to use on the flight. We can also go ahead and click on the EFB, which is a brand new feature to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We can access here in the world map. We can actually go through here. We can set our runways. We can set all of our details for our flight. We can basically create the entire flight plan right here with a departure, with arrivals, all of that stuff. All the typical procedures for that airport are right there and available. And this in-game EFB or flight plan is actually really detailed. I'm really surprised at just how much you can do here. You can set up your weight and balance in here. You can do performance planning. I mean, it does a lot. And what we're seeing right now is, again, not the final version, not the final build. It is still missing some features. So I'm not going to go too deep into how this works just yet. But again, I will do another video explaining a bit more on all of the capabilities of this new flight planner. But already in this particular version, I'm already very impressed. So we will come back to that, don't you worry. Okay, let's go flying. We are in Telluride in the Cessna 172, and one of my favorite airports in the world to fly out of, very high elevation. But let's go ahead, and we're already loaded up on the runway. Let's put the power forward. Come on, there we go. Nice, all right. So power is fully in. We'll make sure we try to keep center line here. Again, remember, this airport has a very high elevation. We're sitting at 9,000 feet right now. Our altimeter is probably off. I don't think that's completely accurate, but look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Wow. Also, notice that you don't get those blurry textures on the runway anymore. That has now finally been fixed. Anyways, airspeed is alive, slowly climbing up again. It's a very highly elevated airfield. It's going to take us probably all this runway to get in the air, but we're going to try to get up as soon as we can. There's 58 knots. Nose is already trying to come up just a little, but we don't have enough lift to get off the ground here. 65, and I'm trying. Here we are. We are up. All right, don't put the nose up too much. Nice shallow climb. Look at this view. You can actually see some of those cirrus clouds as well, way up in the sky. Another new addition, but here it is. Here's the big drop off at the end of the mountain. Coming out of Telluride, look at those trees. You can see some of the fall colors starting to come in too, because it is September when I'm recording this. So Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 does have seasons now. So this is going to be a really fun winter when this sim comes out. Look at that view off the left wing. I'm telling you, the trees really make a big difference. Like, I know, you know, people probably don't understand just how big of a difference. Like, the trees take up so much of the scenery when you're flying around. Obviously, trees, water, the sky. And if you can get those details right in a flight sim, it will really transform the sim. And the trees weren't that bad in 2020. I can't say I've ever really complained about them too much. But this is a massive upgrade with the trees here. But yeah, plane is flying really nicely too, even though we're kind of underpowered here. Pretty high density altitude out in this area. But aircraft is a little sluggish because of that lack of power because of the altitude, but doing all right. All right, roll to the right so we can turn around and land back in into Telluride in the opposite direction. Look at this view, guys. Look at this. Just take it in. Just take it in. Wow. So many places that I want to go to. So many places I want to explore. This is just one of the first that came to mind. Alright, we'll pull the power back and we'll get prepared for landing here. Landing back into Telluride. Don't want to come too far into power though, because again, we are still pretty darn high up. It's gonna actually take a decent amount of power to get landed onto this, almost like landing on an aircraft carrier here. Watch out for the forces as well as the updrafts and downdrafts come up the side of this mountain. We might get some here right before we reach the end of the runway. Keep that power in just slightly. Got to line up on the center line here. Oh man, this looks nice. Look at the mountains in the distance, the clouds, trees, the grass, everything. The whole package. Alright, here we go. Ooh, bit of a late flare. Keep her center. Kind of smashed it a little bit, but not too bad. I'll take it and tell you right. Alright, we are down and on the center line. Not too bad. Not too bad. For a little Cessna flight. Let me show you something else really cool. Really quickly as we roll out. Let's see, I know that there's supposed to have skid marks. Look at the suspension bouncing on that right and left wheel. And the wheel smoke we saw there too. You just see that suspension actually bending there. Look at that. Skid marks as well as I slam on the brakes. Put some power in now, slam on the brakes, and I'll show you the skid marks here. Check this out. Look at that. Why am I getting so excited about skid marks? But yeah, hey, it's part of it. Very nice. And we screeched to a stop in the Cessna 172 in Telluride. Hey, how you doing? I have a new co-pilot. Interior looks pretty good here in the CL415. I just want to do a really quick landing in this aircraft. If you do pre-order Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I do believe you get access to this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. So you can get access to this aircraft right now, today, in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 if you pre-order 24. Anyways, I want to kind of bring this down for a water landing and try out some of the water physics and see what the water effects look like as well. I've been told very good things about it. I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 has been improved in a lot of areas that we might overlook. And I feel like the water and amphibious area might be one of those areas that we may overlook. Also, this aircraft is typically used for, water bombing and firefighting missions and things like that. And I've honestly, personally, never flown a plane like this before, but it looks pretty cool. It flies pretty nicely as well. It actually has a massive yoke in there, so as we rock to the right, look at those engine heat effects there. Very nice. Very nice. Look at all the ship traffic, too. Lots of new ships have been added. Microsoft Flight Sim. Might be too many ships. There's a lot of boats out here. We're just going to bank down here so we can find a place to land. Come in for landing. Look at that sunset, too, reflecting off of the water. That's pretty nice. You can see the engine exhaust coming off the back of our props. Alright, we put our nose into the sun, and oh my god, look at the water effects. I definitely came in too hot, so that's why we're bouncing like crazy. But look at the water effects when we come down. We're running out of water here. I have to turn left a little bit. Look at that. You know what? I might have to be a plane boat pilot. Is that what you call it? A plane boat pilot? I might have to do this more often. Even with the reversers on this thing, you see it flash up. Look at the wake coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dedicate some more time to flying some amphibious aircraft. All right, we are running out of time, but before we go, let's take a look at the Max 8, the 737 Max 8. Look at the engine heat coming off the back of those jet engines right there. But the aircraft looks pretty good from this angle. I gotta say, 3D model looks pretty nice. I mean, it looks like a 737 Max. It looks pretty accurate. Nothing looks off or weird or disproportional. So 3D model looks accurate. I'm liking the engine blades there as well. The cowlings are looking good. I'm having a little bit of a lighting issue right now in the sim, so ignore that. Not going to look too much into the textures because the reflections are a little off in this shot, but it's looking pretty good, looking pretty solid, and I can't wait to fly this baby. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to look really good. It's going to look really good. And here we are in the cockpit of the Max, and looks pretty good in here too. I'm not going to say that I'm blown away, right? It's not like, oh my god, it looks so amazing. It's more like, hey, it's a Max. I'm excited for a Max, and it looks like a Max. And that's what matters. Hopefully it flies like a Max, and flies well, flies clean, flies smooth, flies realistic. That's what it's most important. I want to have a realistic, immersive experience. And so as long as they don't break me out of that realistic, immersive experience, I'll be just fine. But it's going to take some testing, it's going to take some flying, and sadly, I don't have the time to do that today. But I will have a dedicated video going through the Boeing 737 MAX, and I can't wait to show you guys that one. But thank you guys so much for watching. Microsoft Flight Sim already had the best graphics by far, but now with 2024, it's not even a competition. I think the new trees actually make a bigger difference to the visuals than people actually realize. And that, coupled with the other visual improvements, really make for a ultra-realistic cinematic scene. So graphically, it is definitely much more impressive than even I was expecting. And as far as how the aircraft are actually handling for me in my short time getting to go hands-on with the aircraft, I do believe I'm feeling the aerodynamic improvements that Microsoft Flight Sim has made, and I think it's going to be making for a much more enjoyable flight experience along all the aircraft in the sim. But I'm looking forward to years of flying in 2024, and I'm looking forward to you guys getting the chance to try it for yourself as well, and tell me your thoughts. Am I correct? Am I over-exaggerating? Am I tripping? I don't know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and remember, you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all. You got peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video. I'm out.